The nail salon in Brooklyn, which was the site of a brawl between employees and a customer over a bad eyebrow job, still closed days after some local residents took to protesting, saying that the incident was racially motivated. Joining me now is Professor Joyce Moy, who is the executive director of the Asian American and Asian Research Institute at City University of New York. Professor, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So, Professor, I know you're familiar with the story, the nail salon in Brooklyn. Here's the question, and we've talked to a number of people over the time since the protest started, since the incident happened. Do you feel the Asian community, the Asian American community, is being characterized and treated unfairly as you see the protest out in front, and the protests are all about how the black community in Brooklyn feels they have been disrespected and mistreated? Is this an unfair characterization of what happened?
I believe that this is a really unfortunate situation. The video that I viewed is in fact quite disturbing. However, I think this is a situation where what should have been an ordinary dispute between a business and a consumer over dissatisfaction of services could have been handled differently. It is the extreme nature of the way that it is handled, given the racialized context of things in America, that I think has caused this to become a very racialized issue, when in fact it might have been simply a consumer dispute.
And I'm not going nowhere. I live here.
In terms of that history, very easy for people today to paint a broad brush when it comes to tension between the black community, the white community, but you don't often hear it as much between Asian Americans, new immigrants, and the black community. Would you say that there is a long history of tension over the past, let's say, 8 to 10 years between blacks and Asians in Brooklyn?
I would not say that there has been a long history of tension. I think that from time to time there have been misunderstandings because the communities are heavily segregated within New York City. As diverse as we are, the fact of the matter is that they often do not encounter one another except in a setting such as a business transaction.
So what do you advise the business owners to do? I mean, you look at that their entire business plan could completely be wiped out because of protesters outside their doors. What do you advise them to do? Is there a way for them to dig out of this?
I think it's important for the facts to really come out and a dialogue between community leaders to begin to make sure that the stories come out on both sides. I don't think there's anyone that would condone the way that this particular incident occurred.
Professor, thanks for joining me. Appreciate the conversation.
You're welcome.